Sometimes we find ourselves rushed off our feet and we need to knock out a quick floor plan. In this video, I show you how to generate a floor plan in a couple of clicks. Let's get into it. So, the tool we're going to be exploring today is called Plan Finder. And what it does is it takes a shell that you dictate and it gives you iterations of apartment floor plans. That's important. At the minute, it appears that it's only doing apartment designs, but I imagine there's nothing stopping this. Producing maybe hotel rooms, offices, and all that sort of stuff in future. And as it says here, the features are it generates floor plans by simply giving the outer boundary and a desired number of rooms. It's compatible with Grasshopper, Rhino, and Revit. In this video, we're going to be using Revit. Now, the pricing isn't crazy. You get a good 30-day free trial, and then it just goes up to €10 a month, which is about, I don't know, about £9, something like that. And then if you want to use some of the additional enterprise features, I think you've got to contact them, probably give them the size of your team, and they'll price it accordingly. But not too bad if you're in a rush. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm sure it'll probably have some weird quirks that maybe you'll need to finesse and all that sort of stuff. But this is, for me, looks like it'll be a good tool for the initial phases of a project when you're appraising it. Can you when you're spatially kind of planning things in terms of, so we do a lot of apartment buildings, and we can dictate based on national space standards the zone of a one-bed apartment, the zone of a two-bed apartment. And what's great is we can run those through this software and test whether that layout actually works in reality. Because sometimes you might have the right area, but the shape, the entry point, all that sort of stuff starts to create weird layouts that actually don't work in reality. So, very excited to test this. I've downloaded the trial, I've installed it, very easy to install, and it appears as an extra tab at the top of your Revit window. All I need to do is model a perimeter wall. So let's go for something quite generous. 18 by 9, something like that. So that's a good size. And all you need to do is go on Plan Finder, Fit, click in the space, and there's its first attempt. Now, might want a 3-bed, so we knock that down to a 2-bed, and we've got a good effort basically at a layout. You can give more priority to spaces by dictating a larger living room. Now, if it then doesn't generate something's gone wrong. So see the way I've dropped it back down. So I think that is the software telling us that doesn't work for whatever reason. Maybe the overall perimeter isn't good enough or large enough, what have you. So if we then go into bedrooms and maybe just lift the size of that, but it's meeting that anyway. If we then change that to a 1-bed, nothing appears. That might be because it's just too big, possibly. I'll do something smaller. If I then just turn those down, does it give us our 3-bed back? Yes. So that's not too bad. Country as well. Maybe it's thinking of regulations. Again, this software is new to me. This is more of just an introduction to it. I might have a bit of a deeper look at it and do another video on that. So we'll just leave that off. But nonetheless, we've got our entry point there, quite central. It's thinking of some quite nice things, like you've got en-suites, you've got walk-in closets. I like that it's allocating storage. It's very very wise to have a storage space for things like hot water cylinders, distribution boards, all that sort of stuff, to obviously service the apartment. We haven't got a door into our WC there, but we'll forgive that. there's a couple of settings. There's things like downscaling where it kind of better adapts to the perimeter, but I'm not sure how that'll react. Let's just leave it at that. Upscaling again must just be the opposite, where it could scale. You know, you can see there how it's kind of reacting to that perimeter. So we'll just leave that. And a number of plans, I think that's just the number of iterations it spits out at us. If we then go through them, these are all the iterations that are roughly on that perimeter. I'm sure you'll have an opinion on them, but that is pretty impressive, to be fair to it. So if I then go OK, it then loads it in. It gave us our front door, but then the other doors, haven't looked at it. Yeah, all the areas have loaded in, that's good. All the other doors aren't showing a swing. So what I would do is select all instances in view and then just change it to a proper Revit door, which easy sorted. Now we've obviously got a door missing here, so there's nothing stopping us just hitting CS, create similar, and then whacking a door there. That's pretty good. Also, I would be checking for the size of the bed. What's the perimeter around the bed? Things like that. You know, you want 750 really. So there's a few little shortcomings, but I think that is pretty impressive. It's a good starting point. Let me now just draw something a little smaller and see if it gives us a one bed. Now to just test that, I'm just going to throw an area at it. So 70 square meters, that is a good sized one bed. So let's go to Plan Finder, Fit. Give it a click. And there we are, one bed. Would it give us a studio? No, again, maybe it's just dictating the size of that. But there's a one bed, quite simple. Let's have a look at a few options. Does it give us storage? There we go. A little bit tight on the kitchen. Not bad, that's all right. I quite like linear bedrooms like that because it gives you the opportunity to put a nice little desk in and things like that. Let's go for that one. There we are, and then again, let's just select those doors, swap them for a proper Revit door. You might have that opening outwards, you might have it opening inwards, what have you. Let's have a look in 3D as well. Let's just make them 3 meters, typical story height. And there we go. That's not too bad, is it? For that space of time. Now with these things, with automation, I get very worried with automation. It allows for errors to creep in. Don't get lazy with automation. But this is a great starting point. You might be struggling with a layout, and you could feed it through this. It might give you some good ideas, but always make sure that you're casting your eye over it. If you have a team member, let them have a look at it as well. It's nothing more valuable than an extra pair of eyes. But for me, I am very impressed with that. I think I will be using that in my workflow as and when I need it. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.